Hi everyone, this is Selina. Welcome back to one of my videos. I hope you're well. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name's Selina and I release crochet tutorials and free patterns. And today I'm bringing to you this beautiful bobble stitch pouch. It's so pretty, it's so practical for day to day. As you can see, I've lined it so it looks really pretty. I love this project so much. It was really a lot of fun to crochet. So as always, the free pattern is available on my blog, selinaveronique.com. The link will be in the description box. And so for this project, I used this yarn, which is Lion Brand Yarns 24/7 cotton DK. I will be linking all of the materials in the description box, and this is the blue shade. So this is 100% cotton yarn in a DK light 3 weight. You will also be needing a 4mm crochet hook, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, some darning thread and needle. You will be needing a zipper and some cloth if you wish to line the project. I have included how to line the project in this tutorial if you are interested. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And without further ado, I'm just going to jump into the tutorial. Okay, so to begin this tutorial, we will be crocheting a long rectangle like so, and I'll show you how to crochet this now. Okay, so to begin this tutorial, you will be taking your yarn, make a slip knot like so, pop your hook through and tighten, and now we will be chaining 24. So just go ahead and chain 24. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I've chained less just to demonstrate the stitch, but you should have 24 chains. And now count 1, 2, 3 chains from the hook and place a half double crochet into this stitch. So to half double crochet, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the chain, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook, take your yarn and pull through 3 loops, and this creates a half double crochet, and the first chain 2 counts as a half double crochet 2. Now place a half double crochet into the next stitch and into the next stitch, and just place a half double crochet into each chain across until you reach the end of this row. Okay, so this is your first row, so obviously your row will be a lot longer, but this is what I have. And the principle is the exact same, so I've turned my work already. And for the second row, chain 1, this does not count as a stitch. Go into the first stitch with a single crochet. So 2 single crochet, pop your hook directly through, pull up a loop. You have 2 loops on your hook, take your yarn and pull through 2 loops. And this creates your first single crochet. Now go into the next stitch with a bobble stitch. So to create your half double crochet bobble stitch, go into the stitch, wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the stitch, pull up a loop. You have 3 loops on your hook. Do not finish this stitch, but once again wrap your yarn around your hook, go into the same stitch and pull up a loop. Once again, go into the same stitch and pull up a loop, and do this a 4th and last time, pull up a loop. And now that you have all of these loops on your hook, you are going to be taking your yarn and pulling through all of the loops. Now chain 1 and go into the next stitch with a single crochet, like so. And as you can see on the other side, it has created a bubble. So now go into the next stitch with a bobble stitch once again. 2, 3 and 4. Take your yarn and pull through all the loops, chain 1 and place a single crochet into the next stitch. Now go into the next stitch with a bobble and just continue this pattern all the way across, and I'll meet you back. So just repeat this pattern until you reach the last 2 stitches, and then I'll show you how to finish this row. So I've reached the last 2 stitches. So this is the last 2 stitches from the row and the previous row. So this is a stitch and then the chain 2 from the previous row, which counts as a stitch. So in the second to last stitch, place a bobble. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. And in the very last stitch, which is the chain 2 from the previous row, you will be placing a single crochet, like so. And this will straighten out as we go, and this is what it looks like on the other side. So this is row 2 completed. So now for row 3, turn your work, chain 2, 1 and 2, and this counts as your first half double crochet, and it counts as the stitch that goes on top of the single crochet from the previous row. And now we are simply going to be placing a half double crochet into each and every stitch across, so that includes the single crochets and bobble stitches. And so for the bobble stitch, you can place your stitch either on the top here or here, because there are 2 places where you can potentially put a stitch, but just make sure that you just put 1 stitch into the bobble stitch, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to be placing my half double crochet into the top of the bobble stitch. Just ignore this because this is still part of the bobble stitch, and go into the single crochet from the previous row with a half double crochet. And it may seem like there are spaces, but there aren't. Now place your stitch on top of the bobble stitch and then go into the single crochet. And if you are hesitant about the fact that you are putting the right amount of stitches because you don't want to place too many, just count them. So just count how many stitches you have on the previous row and then just count how many you will need. But it's pretty easy once you get used to it. It's really easy. So this is my last bobble stitch, so I'm going to place a half double crochet on top of that, and then I'm going to place a half double crochet into the very last stitch, like so. And this is row 3, and so now you are simply going to be alternating row 2 and 3 until you have 32 rows in total. Obviously your rows will be longer, but you should have 32 rows in total, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so this is my project here, and as you can see, I've crocheted my 32 rows. I have finished on a half double crochet row, not a bobble stitch row, just to make it symmetrical. And I'm going to fasten off, so I've snipped off my yarn and left a long tail for sewing, and this is my last stitch, and I'm just going to be pulling my yarn through like so, tighten, and this creates a knot. And this is what we have. I love it. And now I'm going to show you the rest of the project. Okay, so this is what I have for now. So you can block this this rectangle if you wish. I'm not going to block it simply because once I fold it and sew it, it will be fine, because obviously there's some sewing involved. But by any means, please do what you want, because obviously the shape might be a bit crooked, if that makes sense, but that's totally normal. And as you can see, you can just either reshape it like me or block it. Okay, so for the next part of this tutorial, now that we've crocheted the main part, what we will be doing is sewing the zipper in. So to sew the zipper in, as you can see, I've placed it like so. I've not put some pins into it just because I feel it's easier for me to just have a more precise, I'm trying to show on camera, stitch without a without pins, if that makes sense. But by all means, if you prefer to sew the zipper in with pins, please do. As you can see, I'm sewing the first side of the zipper in. So as you can see, I'm just sewing this in like so with the darning needle and thread. So just go all the way until the other edge, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I finished sewing the first side of the zipper in. I'm really happy with how it looks. What I am going to be doing now is sewing in the sides of this pouch. So I apologize if this is not the most aesthetic tutorial, but I do feel that sewing in the first side of the zipper in before sewing in the rest of the pattern is just a lot easier for me. Somehow zippers really throw me off. I don't know why, and I've always struggled to sew zippers in. So for me, kind of doing this secures at least one side of the zipper in a nice aesthetic way. I hope this is making sense. But anyways, on to sewing the side of the pouch. As you can see, I'm using the mattress stitch, so I'm going in one side, out the other side, and I'm just sewing this side in. Then I'll be sewing the other side in, if that makes sense. And once I've sewed both sides, I will be finishing off the zipper and then adding the lining. So yes, it's a whole process, and yeah, let me know in the comments how you do this. But I'm excited for the end result, and yeah, as you can see, I've reached the bottom here. So usually what I do is I just go in like this. So this obviously is the inside, and I create a knot on the inside delicately because I don't want to pull my project. So just create a knot. Okay, this isn't the most aesthetic thing I've ever done, but it's on the inside, so we don't care. I fastened off, and again this is going to be the inside, so it doesn't matter if we have a loose end. Now just symmetrically sew the project in. Okay, so as you can see, I've sewed the project in both sides, and part of my zipper is already sewed, and I'm loving the effect already. I just think it gives a neater look. I have snipped off part of the zipper just so that it will fit better inside the project. And so now I am going to be sewing the second zipper side into the bag. So this is going to be slightly more technical. So again, I'm just going to be doing it gradually. So I'm just going to be popping my darning thread and needle and gradually so I'm trying to show on camera, so I don't know if you can see properly. I'm just sewing in the zipper on the other side. So do this gradually and gently, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I'm really happy with the result. This is my zip, and I love it. It's really nice. So what we are going to be doing now is adding the lining. So this is the cloth I've used for the lining. I've ironed it so that the rough parts that I've cut and the loose ends are tucked inside once I sew, if that makes sense. So that's what I've done. I hope you can see I've symmetrically folded these over and then ironed the cloth. And so because this is the part that we want on the inside, we are going to be folding this over like so and sewing these two sides in. So sew this side in and sew this side in, just with a darning thread and needle, just so that once we pop the lining in, it's nice and neat inside. So just sew this and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so as you can see, I've sewed this, so now we can place it into the purse. So just go ahead and place this into the purse and just adjust it so that you can sew it in correctly. So I don't know if you can see, but I've adjusted it so that each side is symmetrical, and now I am going to sew this side in onto the zipper, so through the zipper and the project. So I'm going to sew this all the way around with the darning needle and thread. So I don't know if you can see up close, but this is how I'm sewing the first side in. So obviously it's a bit trickier showing you on camera and doing it neatly at the same time, but this is what I'm doing up close. So yeah, I'm taking my time, making sure everything is okay. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is what I have, So like I said, it was slightly different, but I do love the effect of this project. I know I'll be using it a lot. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.